Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Train Sim World 2 video. We are on the LGV Méditerranée. Make sure I get this spelled correctly in the description. And we will be on our way shortly. And so we are going to be doing this, I gotta find the service, it's like a 1430, yep, there we go. There we go, there's that. We're all set on that. All right, let's get started here. Try to monitor both chats. Just gotta pull Windows aside a little bit. All right, there we go, perfect. All right, so we're gonna start here from Avignon to Marseille, and then we're gonna pop out back into the menu and do this service from Marseille back to Avignon. So in theory, these would be passing each other on the track, but you know, it is what it is. So just for the sake of expediency, that's how we're going to play this today. Should take just over an hour or so. We'll be getting here, get things set up, and we're going to be underway. Yeah, so hopefully everybody's enjoying their Tuesday. I know quite a few people are probably watching Joe play his flight simulator. Yeah, so seems to be a lot to do in there, whether you're playing on, well, I'm guessing, especially if you're on PC, there seems to be way more in-depth sort of stuff. I've watched some people on Twitch I think I have to change this. Oh, I just have to raise that. There we go. Alright, there's that. There's the gauge lights. Up to bright. So it might be quiet in the chat, I guess. Everybody's over there looking at the new toy, so to speak. That's okay. Alright, let's have a look outside here. Our lights are on. PIS board. Wait, should have it. Well, that's a very, yeah. So the service says it's Marseille, St. Charles, Metzville. It's not very bright. You have to kind of look at it from an angle in order to see the interesting. Let's get the doors shut. I did say 6:30, but yeah, I just figured it was easier to just get going now. Alright, let's get back outside here. So yeah, it'll probably be a few minutes before people come in. That's fine. It is what it is. Like I said, a lot of people are probably watching flight sim. yeah, just watching people on PC especially, I mean, I guess it's true for most any simulator. You can really get in depth on flight sim, it seems. Like, really, you can put a lot of time into learning the setting up your aircraft and your flight plan, going through your checklist, all that sort of stuff. It's very in depth, but of course I'm guessing, like most any sim too, how in depth you get. Like, there's people who are super serious about flight sim and all the bells and whistles, the bits and bobs, as Joe would like to say. But yeah. All right, Aix-en-Provence is our only stop along the way before we get to Marseille, as usual. So, nice sunny day here. A little bit cloudy, not too heavy clouds, but it's nice. So, figured this would be a nice thing to do this morning before I have to go. Possibly. It seems like everything is now, there's just a lot of moving parts that are there just seems to be a lot going on for this project that are all things that were not taken into account, or it's just a big hot mess at this moment. I went to bed last night just going like, how, why, I don't know, it's just, Now, the other thing too, most everybody will notice, I never use the safety systems on here. I've never used them, and I probably should learn them. I put the time in to learn PZB and CIFA. I should probably put the time in to learn the safety systems here on this system, on this train, but I haven't. So, yeah, I probably should do that at some point. Wow, I got put in the push right back into the cab for that little. Oh, there we go. We got another tunnel coming up here. We pass through this mountain. Hill, whatever you want to call it. Hill, most likely. That's not a mountain, that's a hill. Hello, Glenn. Hello, Mr. Adams. That's twice now. I feel special that you graced us with your presence, Mr. Addies. Welcome. Welcome, Glenn. Oh. What did I do to deserve this? Hopefully you're both well. Mr. Adams in the house. Yeah, Glenn, exactly. That's 2 days in a row now. We might need to call the Guinness Book of World Records or something, you know? Oh, well, I'm glad you're both here. Welcome. We just departed Avignon a few minutes ago. We're on our way to Aix-en-Provence, stopping in Marseille, and then we're going to do a return service back to Avignon, or Avignon. Is it Avignon or Avignon? I forget which, but anyway. So yeah, we're doing like a round trip. I'm watching Joe as well. Yeah, some people are going to multitask. That's okay. I've watched people on Twitch who play Microsoft Flight Sim, and it can be a very, very long stream, because like most of the streamers will talk about going over your checklist, checking the really in-depth stuff. And then like one person I was watching, they were just intentionally crashing. Oh, yeah, I hope so too there, Glenn. It's another nice day out today. Yeah. Well, it's foggy here. It's supposed to be thunderstorms today, but I don't know. Matter of fact, I've not looked at the weather yet this morning since I've been up at around 5 this morning, even though I was trying to sleep into about 5:30. 25% chance of showers now. Okay, so the thunderstorm threat has been lifted. So, yay us. But yeah, it's probably going to be another muggy day out. So I'm going to try to do the best I can with the situation. But everything's kind of still on hold. It seems there's some parts of our crew that there's one guy who's supposed to be doing the video shoot. He may have jury duty today. So yeah, it's personally, if it was up to me, we'd just cancel today and try next week or something. It just seems like thunder's due here at some point. Yeah, I think a lot of that's what hit Amela, and it finally made its way across the ocean to you guys. So yeah. So you two might be my only passengers for quite some time, if at all. So yeah, hopefully, I mean, at least here it did. When we've had the rainstorms, it did bring the temperature down just a bit. Not to extremes, but at least it kind of brought some relief to the heat. So hopefully it does the same for you guys. I think I should be pressing this to go a little bit quicker. If I can hold it right about there, that'd be perfect. Sure, no problem. Mr. Adams got the tickets, I hope. No, you know him, Glenn. He always works in the bar car. He's the beverage server. That's what Mr. Addies does. Oh. He'll make you a cuppa, he'll make you a coffee, he'll make you a cocktail. Just don't ask him to serve you a glass of water. It's like a heat wave. Always drunk. Yeah, we've had that here as well, and it's supposed to, well, I've talked to people who live south of New York who said that there is another storm heading this way. Probably be here before the end of the week. Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah. It does make it harder to sleep no matter what time of day it is, especially if you were, if you work at night and have to sleep during the day. Unless you have AC and everything, you're going to be miserable. Plus, they've been doing some renovations on some of the apartments here, so they've got running the power saws and hammering and all kinds of stuff. And just, yeah. I feel bad for anybody because I think there's one gal who lives here who's she's a nurse, or maybe she works at one of the hospitals here in the area. I don't know if she's a nurse or an aide or what, but she works at night and tries to sleep during the day, I think. So, yeah, crazy. Oh, I think we gotta slow down here. This is one of those weird areas where it slows down and then it speeds back up. Never quite understood that. Alright, looks like we're under on that. Wow, we're already 25K, 24. Boy, we're doing pretty good on time, it looks like. I think we're going to be on time getting into Aix-en-Provence. Should be. Oh, somebody else is watching. Welcome. Not sure who that may be, but that's okay. So, you know, looks like we're doing pretty well. Usually this is the sometimes I'm on time or just barely on time when it comes to coming into Aix-en-Provence. But that's part of it is I don't speeding along. Yeah. Well, part of it is I tried using in the past. I tried using the automatic speed control thing, you know, setting it up and then letting the train do its thing. But it always on the downhill, it never applied the brakes. It would just speed, and so I'd always get dinged for speeding. And see why Joe likes this route always fast. Yeah. So I don't use the you know, the driving mode where you can dial in, because it doesn't really keep, you know, not like where you're on when you're using RFB on the German route. You can dial in the speed and it maintains it for you. You know, it'll apply the brake, it will apply the throttle as needed. This one doesn't do that. So yeah, I never quite mastered the, because you know also too you have a lot of the, you know, you're going uphill, downhill. It's not a flat or reasonably flat, you know, route either. Yeah, and you could do, I mean, I always compare, you know, if you talk about the time of sand patch grade, you could do 4 services on this route in the time that it would take to do 1 service on sand patch grade, you know. Alright, we've got to start getting on the brakes here, because that we're under 10 kilometers and that distance is going to go very quickly. You don't want to blow past, because I think there's a red usually at the end of the platform. But I know it goes down to 170. Yeah. Yeah, there's our 170 up there. I don't have to get on that quickly, but I mean, to think that's still over 100 miles an hour, that speed limit. I think we're going to be okay on time this time. Yeah, we definitely don't want to run that red. Although that exactly seems like what we are getting ready to do. If we don't. No, maybe not. Alright, at least we got that under control. Let's see if we can nail this stop here. Yeah, not going to be a completely nailed stop, but pretty darn good for not having been on the route in quite some time. No, it doesn't, Glenn. It really doesn't. That's the crazy thing, is it goes quick. And you think, because I know the first time I played this route, I'm like, there's no way we're going to make it in time. Absolutely, there's no possible way. And yeah, you can. I think I felt the same way first time I was on the ice train on the cold line. You know, you think, oh, there's no way we're going to make it, you know, make our destination on time. Yeah, not too bad of a stop. Could have been better. Could have been a lot worse. We could have hit that red light. So, all right. Get the brakes. Let's get these a little bit released, so I think we can safely get them released completely. Is there another? Oh, I thought there was another train, because I heard it was almost like another train was leaving. All right. Power change is next. I know this is going to sound weird, but I would love to experience this to see if I can tell when the power change happens on this line in real life. Like, is there something that happens in the train, like in the passenger compartment, does like the AC kind of, the air system kind of shut off in preparation for the power changeover? Is it, a fairly smooth process? I'd be curious to see how that is in real life. We're going to be going in a tunnel here in a moment. This long stretch right here. Here it comes. Might as well just get back in the cab while we're... It's like we're going 2 degree down bubble. You were in a submarine. It feels like we're diving to the depths of the ocean. I think there's a river above us. We cross under a river, if I remember correctly. I'd have to look on a map. So, Mr. Addies, if you're still here, what's your plans for the week? What you got going on, or even today? You getting outside for a while? You did mention the weather. It seems like we go downhill for quite some time, and then right where that 160 is, I think, is when we start getting the uphill portion. Should start seeing the uphill here any moment now. It's like this weird transition. I've always found it to be. Yeah, see, it's like this very... Boom, there it is. Alright, let's turn off that. Let's lower this. And I think we go to... DC. There we go. Ta-da! We are back up and running. All right. Marseille is our destination. We are coming into this platform right there. Normally we're all the way over here, but today, for whatever reason, we are going there. Interesting. Somebody threw me a like. Greatly appreciate it. I figured this would be a quiet stream today. Of course, I can't compete with Flight Sim. I guess I can't really. But that's okay. It's not a competition now, is it? I reckon. Now I think just past this there's a 60 coming up. Yep, there it is. And then I think it goes to 40 shortly after that even. Alright, let's get a little bit of brake on because that... a little bit closer here. Hey Mick, how are you? Welcome. Mixter is in the house. Great run on the American Truck Simulator last night. Really enjoyed that. So this is part one of our services, so as soon as we get into Marseille here and let our passengers off the train, we're gonna we're gonna run back to Avignon, so you came in just in time, Mick, so you haven't really missed anything too... We'll be speeding here in a moment. Okay, there we go. Bring that back up just a bit. Yeah, it was some good laughs last night there, Mick. Really good. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, normally we come in, we're over... I think we're usually on one side or the other of the this little office thing or whatever. Like, I don't know if it's a switch office or a... But anyway, usually we're over there, but here we are coming into this location, so we'll pop out and change the change services real quick. Better start slowing down here. Do not want to derail the train coming into Marseille. So we'll be on time here, which I think is the first time that's happened for me in quite some time. Alright. This is the part that always gets me because I never... Alright, we got it. There we go. Oh, we still made it on time. We were due at 15:03. We got here at 15:03:27. So we will get our max points for our passengers for that. I like it. How... Hey, we always have something dramatic happen in our games we play. That's true, Mick. The amount of truck damage last night, though. Good Lord. That was crazy, Mick. That was crazy. Alright, let's see what we end up with here. We should get a gold, I think. That's the right side. I thought, did I close the doors on the right side? $34 minutes. Almost 35 minutes. Alright, there we go. Okay, here we go. Let's get out here and go to our other, find our other service. What was the 14? Should be it. Yep, 1433. Yeah, lately it seems kind of, you just never know the way it drives sometimes. There we go. There's that. I like to have my little panel lights on. Turn the desk light on. I like to blind people with the headlights so they know we're coming. Alright, we are all set. We just got about a minute to departure. We were showing people what not to do while driving. Yeah, Mick. Oh, all the sudden speed changes kind of caught you guys out quite a few times, I think. A lovely set of TGV duplexes here. Let's see if we can get a picture of this. Oh, of course the upload failed. I've not had any luck whatsoever with that lately. I don't know if there's something going on. I don't know. Alright, get the brakes released, so we should be ready to depart. Although we've got a red. Let's see if it changes. It does. There we go. And away we go. Sound the horn for our wonderful dispatchers there in the office. And their little air-conditioned little island there. And we are on our way. Now this is the other thing that kind of perplexes me. I really like this building here. I like to have an apartment right there. Right at the top of that building. That'd be my apartment. And just train watch in Marseille. Can you imagine that? Oh man, the amount of... I'm on the phone at the moment due to our electric boxes being updated, so I don't... Oh, okay. No worries, Mick. I'm glad you're here. What was I going to say? It always perplexes me the way we snake out of Marseille to get to Avignon, to make our way towards Avignon. Like it doesn't seem like there's a direct, you're on a platform and bam, you just follow one line. It's like you got to zigzag through everything, and then you're finally on the right line, it seems. See, tomorrow, I think we will take a run. We're going to do Union Pacific AC 4400 service on Sandpatch Grade. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Because it's a layer. We don't have to change anything. We don't have to do any kind of scenario design or whatever. We just have that layer that we can pick that as a service, and we'll use Union Pacific locomotive AC 4400 on Sandpatch tomorrow. So that'll be a couple hours. I'm setting aside that time, despite whatever happens today with the Veterans Project that I'm working on. We're going to do a couple hours on Sandpatch Grade tomorrow, and that'll be that. So, yeah. Also, I'm going to try by the end of the week to select some photos from the trip to put on Redbubble if anybody's interested in that. We're going to upload some of the images of the angels and stuff, the smaller ones. I think there was a couple that I took that have like a angel holding some rabbits. I think that'd be a nice print, or even a postcard sort of thing if somebody's interested in that. So I'm going to upload some of those as well to Redbubble for purchase. Yeah. So hopefully, so I know that I love, and I know this is going to sound morbid, but I do like taking pictures around a cemetery like Bonaventure, because it's not so much that I have a fascination with death, it's just that it's a very peaceful place. The Spanish moss kind of adds to that peacefulness in a way, but it's also kind of creepy at the same time, so yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that last night. I've been watching a documentary about the American football player Aaron Hernandez, and it's a really eye-opening documentary. There's a lot of things about him that I didn't know, because I didn't pay attention to the murder trials that he was involved in or anything, but there's a lot of stuff about him that I think people just did not know about him. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Alright, 1.6 kilometers to the power exchange location, or changeover, not the power exchange, The power changeover. Exchange, change. It's all the same. It's all semantics. Alright, so let's get in here and prepare for that. We are going to lower this, and then I think we go to AC. Let's see if we are correct. Should be AC if I remember correctly. Yep, there we go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Got that right. So of course on this side we are climbing out of the tunnel. So, but yeah, I was while I was watching it, I barely made it through. It's a 3-part limited series on Netflix. I barely made it through part. I'm almost halfway into episode 2 of 3. But I was thinking last night that I should try to upload some of that stuff to Redbubble. Might do the shot that I have of San Francisco from the pier. If anybody's interested in that, you know, all that stuff will be available for purchase. So, all right, Aix-en-Provence coming up. I think the speedometer is going to start dropping. We do kind of end up doing 170 going in, I think, to Aix-en-Provence. Yeah, let's get off the power. We might be a little bit late getting to Aix-en-Provence. We'll see. Should be coming out of the tunnel here. Okay, there's our 170, so I know that's definitely out of the tunnel. Go. There's the tunnel exit. Yeah, well, I didn't take a lot around the city, Mick. It was very hard being there because of the stench in the city now. It's just so, like, ugh. And for me, as a Bay Area, you know, who grew up in the Bay Area, it's really heartbreaking to see this, you know, San Francisco, a lot of people came to San Francisco specific, you know, it brought a lot of tourists to the area. You know, a lot of people go there to see very historic things, or, you know, it's sad. Like, even my friend who my high school friend, she said, yeah, we couldn't. She said this pretty much what I said, that it was very difficult. She didn't want to be, you know, she couldn't go around like, you know, she used to and take pictures because of the smell. So yeah, so I didn't really. I mean, there's other pictures of San Francisco on my Flickr, Nick, but yeah, this time I couldn't really spend any more time there than I did. I go a little bit past, but not. We're good. So yeah, it was. But yeah, the one that I took from the pier, you know, showing the San Francisco Bay Bridge, that'll definitely go up, you know. And, you know, I'm not expecting a lot of sales, but if somebody likes it and wants it even as a postcard, I think it would look good. So yeah, I didn't really take a lot. I was going to, but yeah, it was very difficult to take pictures there. You know, it really broke my heart to see the city. It just continues to spiral out of control, and you know, yeah, it's really unfortunate. All right, let's get the doors locked, and we'll be on our way to Avignon. Departing a little bit late, but I think we'll be okay. Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, really, it's hard to... You know, there's just such rampant homelessness now, coupled with rampant addiction, and just, yeah, it's sad. No, it's not, Glenn. And you know, I don't want to say there's plenty of blame to go around, but you know, it's not like I think for many people they just had no choice, you know, but to live on the streets. They were put in that position. You know, so, you know, it's sad. And I didn't really get the sense that it's families that are homeless. It's generally single people, it appears. You know, because in most cases, and I don't want to get political, and I'm trying not to, but in most cases, families can get more assistance than a single person can here in America. Same thing here in New York, where I live. As a single person, I can't. There's not a lot that I can be given for assistance. If I was a single parent, that's a different story. But as a single man, I can't. You know. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And many people, or Mick, people saw or came to San Francisco to see those iconic, you know, like Alcatraz or Coit Tower or the cable cars especially. You know, a lot of people go to San Francisco specifically for the cable cars because they'd always see them in commercials or in movies, like you said. And so it's a very iconic thing, you know, to say, hey, I went to San Francisco, rode the cable car. You can get pictures, you know, take some pictures and everything. Yeah, and it's. I just don't get the sense that it's going to be solved, or that there's going to be a turnaround of the situation anytime soon. And the longer it goes on, the harder I think it's going to be for them to get a handle on things. So yeah, it's difficult, you know. Like I half expected, you know, I did post a picture on the Discord at one point. Excuse me, the bowling alley that I went to, it's still there. I'm surprised it's still there. You know, I thought by now for sure they would have, you know, but it's one of those things that's still hanging on, surprisingly. And yeah, it's just the Bay Area overall is just in terrible shape, and but yeah, it's hard. Like last time I was home in 2019, I think, when I flew home for Easter, and I'd spent a couple days. I knew then it was bad, but I was hoping at least at some point there would be some kind of, you know, a shift in what was going on, and there hasn't been, certainly not to the extent that I thought there would be. I mean, they've got robots patrolling the sidewalks now, cleaning up, because I don't think people want to be exposed to things, you know. And I can't blame them. I wouldn't want to be either. You know, I don't think you could pay me enough, you know, to go through that. But anyway, yeah, I don't want to get all down about it. It's difficult. All right, 52 kilometers to Avignon. I'm not a French, not well versed in French, so I don't know. But anyway, we got 50 kilometers to our destination. How about that? I don't like to. I try not to ruin names or whatever. You know, try to be respectful of the names of the areas that we're in the game and such. So. So we have 320 coming up, so soon, there it goes. Let's get a little bit of power on here so we can get our speed up. Try to maintain our speed there. Keep those kilometers up as quickly as we can. Anyways, well, hopefully everybody will enjoy their Tuesday today. We will be ending up as soon as we get to Avignon, or Avignon, our destination. I still, speaking of being in France, I'd still like to go to Le Mans one day. I like to go. I am interested in the hypercar class. I feel, like the domination of Mercedes. Now Toyota's got their domination going on. Although that is tough to hear because we're going through at the moment, but it's going downhill. Yeah, it has been, and yeah, I think the pandemic only made things worse. That's for sure. I did see Scuderia Cameron Glickenhaus. Check them out. Check out their car. They are on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, check them out. Give them a follow. They are right now doing their darndest to take their fight to Toyota. It's a privateer team. Yeah, really cool. Check out their hypercar and all that. I'd like to go to Le Mans after there's more competitors in the hypercar class. We got Porsche coming back in. Although I think they're doing it from the IMSA side, where Roger Penske's organization is going to run their car. Oh, cheers, Glenn. Thanks for coming in. I didn't see that you were leaving. Sorry about that. But cheers. Thank you for coming by for a little while. Audi's, I think, coming back in. There's a lot of teams that are running in the WeatherTech series that are going to get into the hypercar hybrid class because now it's open. It used to be that many teams in America were not able to compete at Le Mans for the outright win. Now that that's kind of, it's, all bets are off kind of thing, I guess, in a way, because of the agreement between IMSA and the ACO. So yeah, I'd definitely like to go once we get more competition. When it's one team dominating, it's kind of like, I fell in love with the American Le Mans series and Le Mans racing in general because of Audi. But as they continue to dominate, and a lot of teams just couldn't compete with them, I started to see and then when Audi built their diesel hybrid or diesel prototype, and they weren't able to, the sprint races were not suited for their diesel car. They felt that the rules were being changed to kind of slight them, I guess. I don't know. It was a lot of, yeah. I fell in love with the R8. Like, I was just, the first time I saw it in 03, I was just like, wow. I was immediately smitten. Between that and the sound of the Corvettes back in the day, the C5Rs, I was just like, wow. I feel like I'm somewhere really cool, witnessing a lot of cool technology, that sort of thing. But there was it was all word of mouth. Like the stands weren't never packed. And, they were trying to break into a market where the market's dominated by NASCAR, and it still perplexes me to this day. I think in retrospect, the one time I did go to the practice and qualifying at Sonoma for the NASCAR race, it's not so much that they're protecting the cars, because the cars aren't anything special. It's they're protecting the drivers, because the drivers are so well known. Jeff Gordon was still racing then. Dale Jr. was racing. Jimmy John. All these big names. Tony Stewart. So fans are only there to see the driver, so way more than the car. Of course, the car, they have their iconic liveries, and sometimes for a certain race they may do a special livery for like a charity or something like that. But NASCAR to me was never really anything special. It's about the wrecks and seeing the driver, and that's about it. you know, there's nothing really special about it otherwise. Whereas in prototype racing, you have a lot more technology. Yeah, Audi would protect their car. You know, like when I saw the R10 for the first time at Laguna Seca, they tried to block. They knew people were going to take pictures, but they blocked. You know, so you couldn't really see like the engine layout, you know, that sort of thing. They were protective, but you know, at least I could peer in and watch them work on the car. I can't do that at a NASCAR race, you know, for instance. You can't, unless you're like a person who's we gotta start slowing down here. You know, that you're a VIP or something, maybe, but even that is controlled access. So yeah, I was never really impressed with NASCAR. Once I went there in person, I was just like, no, not really that interested. We gotta get to 270 here before the signal. Oh, we will. We're just going to coast here for a little bit. Are we in a tunnel? There we go. Yes, we were. Alright. Just under 9 kilometers to our destination. But yeah, I tried telling people, I'm like, you're missing out on this great racing. And it just never really, you know, never really took off. You couldn't get, it was hit and miss when you would see it on TV, you know. You just never knew, because if there was a NASCAR thing going on, even if you had like 45 minutes less, oh, we're going over to Dover to the NASCAR race. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. Wow, we didn't even get to see the end of the frickin' race. You know. I've been to IndyCar back before they've changed the look of the cars. Back when Dan Weldon was racing and all them. IndyCar is the same way as NASCAR now. They'll have like cars on display. You can check out like a mock-up car or whatever, but you know, they do have, the one cool thing is if you're a diehard fan, they have like autograph sessions, but you know, you're going to be waiting in line forever if you want like Dale Jr.'s autograph, for instance, or Tony Stewart's, because they're very popular. Whereas a lesser known driver, you're probably going to be able to go in, watch or get the autograph, and they'll be truly grateful that you're there. But but when it's time to go, those big names are going to say, "Oh, sorry folks, I got to leave," and then that's it. You know. So yeah, it's I don't know. I miss the days. I didn't think I would, because I used to crap on Champ Car a lot, but I miss Champ Car. When they had their own, when the open wheel was split, Champ Car was, I think, was far better. It was more, I think, was more welcoming to the fans. It was just one of those things that it people were interested, but you know, they wanted to see those same drivers compete at the Indy 500, for instance, and they weren't allowed to because of disagreements and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I'm not really excited about NASCAR or IndyCar anymore, because the cars just look like, ugh. You know, I better really get on the brakes here, because I've done it before, and I don't want to do it again. I have spatted here before. I think we're going to be okay. So far, we've avoided... We'll be on time. Alright, let's go ahead and get off the brakes here so we can just kind of coast on in here. Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited to see the future of sports car racing. The only thing I don't like is that Corvette is essentially going to have to step down to the Grand Touring Daytona uh, area in the WeatherTech. After this season, they have to basically, because the GTLM is dead, because teams come in for 4 or 5 seasons and then they bugger off, for lack of a better term. All right, got a nice stop here. There we go. We were on time. On time and under budget. There we go. I do like the new F. Yeah, I do too. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Even I was kind of chuckling when Ross Braun was, closer racing. They've been saying that for years, and it never happens. They always say that, and I think it gets people excited. Oh, closer racing, ooh! And then it never materializes. And then they're like perplexed. Like, how did we get this wrong? You can't equalize things. I think that's what they're trying to do, and it's not. I don't think it's ever really going to truly work. Cost-cutting measures, that hasn't changed anything. You still have teams that are struggling financially. All right. There we are. Should get another gold here, I think. There we go. Let's see. How do we do? Yep, we're still within the realm of the gold. Nice. All right. Well, that is going to be it for today. Tomorrow, real quick reminder, Sandpatch Grade, Union Pacific AC 4400 service. Matter of fact, let's take a look. Before we leave, we're going to look at what's available. Kind of give you a preview for tomorrow. Where is... There it is. So we will pick... Let's see, there it is, AC 4400. We'll change our livery to the weathered. There we go. And then, so I think we'll do this, that's kind of early. Rockwood to Cumberland. Yeah, we'll do this 933 service tomorrow. Rockwood to Cumberland. I do kind of like the other way, though. Let's see if we can... Let's find a Cumberland to Rockwood. I might have done almost all of them now. Wow, I may have. Oh, there we go. 1830 service. Yeah, there we go. We'll do the 1830 service. The Auto Rack Baltimore to Connellsville. That's going to be our one for tomorrow. Anyway, that's going to be it. I need to wrap this up so I can be ready for later on today. Thank you all for coming in. Greatly appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.